And we are live.
Good morning, everybody. We'll get started here in a couple of minutes. All right, I think we're ready to go.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Dan Vedra. I'm with the City of Irving, Texas, and I'm here today to discuss DART's new bus network and the changes planned for riders here at the City of Irving. We're fortunate today that we're joined with a number of panelists, 3 panelists with Dallas Area Rapid Transit today, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So if they'd like to go ahead and do that, I'd appreciate that.
Good morning, Dan. My name is Carlos Huerta. I'm the DART Manager of Community Relations and Education, and I'm here to help out with some of the Spanish as well.
Thank you, Carlos.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, City of Irving. My name is Ralph Zaragoza. I am a service planner at DART, and I'm excited here for this Facebook Live event.
Thank you, Ralph.
And I'm Isaac Vasquez with the City of Irving.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll get it started here, and I'll just start out that, around town here, we're hearing a lot about the new bus system network that's getting ready to go into place. And we've seen a lot of the notifications throughout the community. And, this is a good opportunity for everybody here involved just to start getting the word out to help better understand this and just show us all the hard work that DART's been doing to improve their service. So, Ralph, would you like to lead off and maybe talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, thank you, Dan. So as you know, we are changing our entire bus network system to what we call DART Zoom. First of all, the North Texas region has seen a tremendous growth over the last, I would say the last decade or so. So the current system we have now, it's something that needs to be updated. We haven't had any update like this in really for maybe since DART started. This is actually our biggest service change that at least I've been experienced through, and really the biggest in DART history. So this service change, this new bus network will be geared towards more of a ridership type of service, meaning that more service will be available to everybody. We're also mixing the service with GoLink zones. So a lot of you'll probably notice, the word GoLink, what that is. So we are introducing that as well as part of the new network. And really, we just want this system to work for everybody, all the riders across the North Texas region, the DART service area. And, we're looking forward for this new change coming in January 24th of 2022.
Well, thank you, Ralph. It's very exciting, and I think it's wonderful that DART's willing to move into the 21st century here and to modernize the system. Certainly, anything that adds flexibility to the system is definitely a benefit for all of us here. So, appreciate y'all guys going forward with this. A question that's we've heard a little bit around town is how the bus routes and the bus stops change.
Yeah, so every bus route will be changing in our system. So DART will be implementing all new bus routes and new numbers. So there will be a learning curve for everybody, for all of our riders. So you just have to relearn what your new route will be. So the route numbers, for example, will be based on the route's orientation, the direction of travel, as well as its frequency. So even the physical signs at the poles will be different. The design of it will be brand new. The sign itself will be double-sided, and it'll be larger for better visibility. Some of the fixed routes service will be replaced by GoLink. We'll dig into that a little bit more in detail later on. And other stops, you'll notice that will be permanently closed. So those are really the biggest changes that we'll see, that you guys will see, upcoming in January.
But when you say permanently closed, Ralph, you don't mean that service is no longer available. It's just switching from a fixed route to a go zone system. Is that Fair statement?
Yeah, so yes and no. So some of the bus stops will be converted into a Golding zone. There's going to be other stops as well that will just be discontinued. So you're going to have to find a new bus stop to get to the bus to. So you may have to walk, maybe instead of walking down 5 minutes, to your old stop, you may have to walk up to a different direction to get to your new bus stop.
Okay.
We have a question that just came in from one of our Facebook viewers. Jennifer is asking, not sure if this is already planned, but can you discuss any planned services to get riders from the rail stops to their final destinations? Is that part of this new network system?
Yes, so the network is designed to make those connections smoothly. So we designed this network. So downtown Irving, for example, that's one of our what we call our pulse points, because that's where a lot of routes kind of converge. So a lot of the routes, I believe we have over 10 routes going into that station. So we planned for those routes to kind of sync, with the rail, which is, the TRE, as well as the other stations that our bus connects to.
Got it. Thank you, Jennifer, for that question.
Carlos, would you like to add any of that, maybe
Sure.
in Spanish, to make sure that everyone
Yeah.
understood?
Yeah, let me translate that a little bit in Spanish. ¿Cómo cambiarán las rutas a las paradas de autobús? Y como dijo el señor Ralph, cada ruta va a cambiar en este sistema. Se va a cambiar las rutas, las direcciones y los números también. Vamos a implementar nuevos números en enero, el 24 de enero, y rutas también. Algunas rutas fijadas se van a cambiar al servicio de GoLink. Y también, como platicamos ahorita, que algunas paradas se van a eliminar y reemplazar con el servicio de GoLink. Algunas paradas ya han tenido cubiertas arriba de los postes que indican que ya no va a estar ahí esa parada, pero otro servicio lo va a reemplazar en esas paradas en el futuro, en el 24 de enero. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. And please remember, if anybody, you can type in and chat on this too. Make sure that we get every comment out there that we can. It always benefits everybody listening today, because if you have a question, I assure you there's at least 4 or 5 other individuals who have that question. And the goal here today is to bring information out, questions that we have, because it's better to solve them now, or to ask the questions now, than to wait to the day of and be frustrated. So that's the whole purpose of this. I'm really exceptionally happy that DART is doing this on this platform, because it touches a lot of different people. And so please feel free to comment. Another question we have here, and I know that you mentioned it, Ralph, early on, but I thought it'd be good to mention it one more time, when these changes are set to take place.
It will be on January 24th of 2022.
Okay.
Dan, we just got in another. Go ahead, Carlos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just real quick in Spanish. Los cambios van a comenzar en el 24 de enero de 2022.
Nice.
Thank you,
We
sir.
did we got another question in from a Facebook viewer. Do any of the stops that are permanently closing have the enclosed or covered shelter? If so, what are the plans for those structures?
Yeah, so if we're closing down a stop permanently, we do plan to remove the bus shelters. So it may not happen right away on January 24th. We do plan to take them afterwards, perhaps weeks after the January 24th date. So it may take us a couple of weeks or so. So give us some time to kind of get rid of those shelters.
Okay, great. And while I have your attention, we got another question in, specifically asking about Route 401 in the Valley Ranch area. Are there any changes that are going to happen to that specific route?
Yeah, so let me, give me 1 second here.
Yep.
So we do have, okay, so the 401.
For the public here too, DART is actually redoing the whole entire network. So if it takes a second, Ralph, we get it, because it's for a whole county and it's a massive undertaking. So we appreciate you looking. We appreciate you looking it up.
Yeah. Okay, so the 401 will become the 229 under the new network. So
Okay.
just remember that. We do plan to release a trip planner for everybody to kind of check what the old route is versus the new route, so you can kind of compare the two. We do, and on top of that, more importantly, the schedules will be built in that, so you can actually
Okay.
see your your travel time. So we do plan to release that soon, hopefully by this week.
Awesome. And riders can always go to dartzoom.org, correct? Just to look up that route information if they're ever unsure about something or if they need clarification about anything?
That is correct. Yeah, that information is available at dartzoom.org.
Perfect.
Okay. And just in a very high overview here, the new bus network system, can you help go over why it's a better service for the residents of the community?
Yeah, so it really comes down to what we call our 4-point bus improvement plan. The first one is that you'll see a lot of these routes will be increasing its frequency. So many of our routes operate what we call the core frequent routes that we have today. We only have 7 of those. So under the new network, we're actually tripling that amount. We'll have 22 starting in January. Now these routes operate 20 minutes in the midday and 15 minutes during the peak. So we're excited about providing our riders more frequency. And so the second improvement is that you'll experience less travel time. So a lot of these routes will be more direct. So we don't have, these routes will run straighter. So instead of, some of our routes kind of does this, what I call the spaghetti routes. So, now it's going to be more direct from point A to point B, so which cuts down your travel time. The third improvement is that we're expanding our service hours. All of our bus routes will operate 7 days a week. And in terms of the hours of service, they will be available from 5 a.m. to midnight at minimum. So some of our routes actually operate even earlier. So at 4 a.m. all the way to 1 a.m. And then finally, the last point of improvement is we'll have better access to all the DART service area residents. So 74% of the DART service area residents will have access to transit service within walking distance. So more jobs and destination points will be available to a lot of people.
Well, that's wonderful. So just I'll real quickly, Ralph. So it increases frequency, less travel time between stops, expanded services 7 days a week, better access to all the service area, hours of operation 5 a.m. to 12 a.m. past to midnight, and then 4 a.m. to 1 a.m. in some service areas. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, Carlos, I thought you may want to help us out on that one. That's great news.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, Dan. ¿Por qué la nueva red de autobuses es mejor para nuestros residentes de Irving? En simple, tenemos 4 puntos de clave con este servicio nuevo y los cambios. Primero tenemos más frecuencia. La frecuencia de las rutas ahorita no es igual de la frecuencia de los trenes. So, la frecuencia en el futuro, el 24 de enero, va a ser cada 15 minutos, cada 20 minutos, casi igual como el servicio del tren que tenemos con la línea naranja en Irving y otras líneas del servicio de DART. Ahorita tenemos 7 rutas que solamente tenemos frecuencia de cada 15 o 20 minutos. En el futuro, en el 24 de enero, vamos a tener más de 21 rutas que van a tener esta frecuencia central. También tenemos menos tiempo de viaje, más rutas directas, menos paradas en estos vecindarios que tenemos y servicio más rápido. Y también tenemos mejor servicio porque vamos a tener servicio 7 días a la semana, desde las 5 de la mañana hasta la medianoche al mínimo. A veces de las 4 de la mañana hasta la 1 de la mañana, casi todo el día. Y finalmente tenemos mejor acceso. Más del 74% de los residentes de Irving y todo el sistema de DART van a tener acceso para el servicio de tránsito en proximidad de distancia de caminar. So, en total, esos 4 claves, puntos de clave, tenemos más servicio para todos los residentes de Irving.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank
We
you very
did get
much.
another question in from Facebook. David has a question about GoLink. So he's heard that GoLink is going to be a separate cost instead of being covered by your GoPass bus ticket. What's the answer to that?
Yeah, so in terms of going costs, it won't be any different than our other fixed route or fixed route or rail service, excuse me. But for example, a good example of this, if you purchase a day pass, for example, if you purchase a DART local day pass for the entire day, you can use that towards GoLink costs. So there is no additional cost to ride GoLink. As long as you have a DART local pass, a day pass, you can use that pass for a GoLink trip.
Nice.
So Ralph, I was going to ask a follow-up question on that. So if you do the go zone and when you're picked up, those drivers do not carry cash, nor do they do cash transactions.
That's correct. So we went through now it's a contactless payment. So there is no cash. You can't give cash to the GoLink driver. You can pay 2 ways. One is through downloading the GoPass app, which is free. You can download, through the App Store, or if you have a Samsung, you can do that in the I forgot the technical term for that. But anyways, you can, our GoPass app is free. You can download that. You can pay that way, or you can use a credit card or a GoPass tap card as a way to pay. So for that, you can call into the reservation. They'll take your information. You'll tell them I'm paying with a credit card, or I have a GoPass tap card as a form of payment, and then they'll take your information, and then from there you'll be able to book your trip.
GoLink sounds a lot like Uber or Lyft.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's probably one way to best describe. It's kind of DART's version of Uber or Lyft. So the concept is the same. You can book your trip on the GoPass app, and then the vehicle will come directly to you. So instead of going to a bus stop, for example, this time we're actually coming to you and pick you up where your location is.
Nice. And just want to plug the website again. That if anybody needs more information on GoLink, it's dart.org/GoLink, start.org/GoLink.
That's correct.
I was going to ask Carlos if he could kind of help us out there, because I think that was a really good question.
Yeah, I'll get some of those points in Spanish. La pregunta era, el servicio de GoLink, va a cobrar extra, va a ser otra separada costo o tarifa para ese servicio de GoLink, y la respuesta es la tarifa o los boletos para usar para el GoLink service va a ser igual que el servicio de DART. So, si compran un boleto del día para el diario, para el DART, para usar para el bus o el tren, no tienen que comprar algo extra para el servicio de GoLink. No tienen que comprar algo separado. Es igual, el mismo boleto que usan para el tren o el bus, pueden usar para el servicio de GoLink. Y también los conductores del servicio de GoLink, los vehículos, no van a tener dinero en efectivo. So, tienen que usar tarjeta de crédito o el app, the GoPass app, o pueden usar el GoPass Tap Card para ese servicio. No pueden usar dinero en efectivo para subirse como en el tren o en el bus. Pueden comprar en esas máquinas. Tienen que comprar sus boletos de servicio de GoLink, reservar primero y luego comprar con el GoPass app o el GoPass Tap Card o usando tarjetas de crédito. Y también pueden llamar el teléfono que tenemos para el servicio de GoLink para tener reservaciones, pero sí tienen que reservar. Es igual como Uber o Lyft, es a pedido el servicio. So, tienen que reservar primero. En el bus, el tren, se pueden subir cualquier tiempo, pero en el servicio de GoLink tienen que reservar primero y no pueden usar dinero en efectivo. So, es muy importante tener ese GoPass app y el GoPass Tap Card, y también saber el teléfono para llamar si necesitan llamar para reservar también. Gracias.
Thank you, Carlos, for that good answer there. Ralph, is there anything you want to add to that, or?
No, that's all I have. I'm sure we'll touch more into that later on.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll kind of earlier, we were asked about the 401 route. One of the other main routes of the city of Irving is the 501, the downtown Los Colinas Urban Center route. And can you enlighten us a little bit on how that route is going to change with the new system?
Yeah, so Route 501 will become Route 231 starting in January. So for those who ride the 501, make sure that you ride 231 starting in January. So we did modify the route at the Story and Shady Grove area, so it won't continue as far west on Shady Grove. And then you'll notice that this route is more direct. So it's going to be traveling up and down Beltline Road. It won't deviate to kind of the Bear Creek community that will be covered by the South Irving Goaling Zone. And you'll also notice that this route will operate later at night. So today it doesn't, I believe the route serves, till 9 o'clock, but under the new network, it's going to go all the way through midnight. And not only that, during the midday, we'll run the service more often. So you don't have to wait every hour for your bus to come. So you'll have more opportunities to catch a ride during the midday service.
So this is a good example of basically the increased frequency and less travel time that you spoke of earlier today.
Exactly. So those are the kind of the key points that I mentioned earlier in terms of improving the system itself. So, improved, less travel time, improving the service, providing more hours of service, and increased frequency as well.
Wonderful. And Carlos, I'll see if you could help bring this out too, because pardon me, obviously the Heritage District downtown is a very important link between that and the urban center. And I want to make sure our riders have an opportunity to understand how the 501 is going to work there too.
Sure, absolutely. Ahorita tenemos la ruta en el centro de Irving y también de Las Colinas Urban Center, que es el número 501, 501, la ruta, bien popular. En el futuro, el 24 de enero, se va a cambiar el número a 231 y se va a llamar el South Beltline. En ese servicio va a ser entre el día, más frecuencia entre del centro de Irving y la estación de Northlake College y en el Dallas College en Northlake Campus. Y también tenemos otras calles como Story y Shady Grove que vamos a aumentar en ese servicio también. Pero es muy importante que vayan a dartzoom.org, dartzoom.org, para mirar cómo es ahorita y cómo es en el futuro, los cambios de esas rutas y otras rutas en Irving.
Thank you, sir. One other, kind of shifting gears now, we've seen a lot of the bus covers over the the bus stop, sorry. I'm a traffic guy, so I think about stop signs because we see those. But we're going forward because it's GoLink. So what is the whole purpose of that is so when you're on a fixed route and you see these covers, you just want to make sure you get that information down and contact the DART there. You want to help me out on that, Ralph?
Yeah, so I'm sure so some of the riders will see a bunch of these, what we call bags over the sign, physical bags over the sign. So basically that's just notifying the riders that a change is coming. So, like I said earlier, every single route number is changing. So when you see that bag over there, it may notify you that, route, 401 is going to change to route, this route, for example. So we have over 10,000 bus stops in our system currently today. So I believe there's probably over 7,000 of those bags that are, going over those signs. And for example, if your stop is changing into a GoLink zone, that bag will look different as well. So it's going to tell you that, route, I'm just going to make this up, route 23 is going to change to a Cypress Waters GoLink zone. So that's kind of your new way of travel. So, and then as I mentioned earlier, every single, the physical sign itself will change. So there's going to be a new look to our physical bus signs. So they're going to be larger. The decal is going to be different. There's actually a QR code that we're including on there as well to kind of give you more information, real time, travel information, things like that. So it's, like I said, it's a brand new system, brand new everything, including stops, even the maps that you see online, the timetables the pocket schedules that you pick up in a bus. We're changing all of that. So everything will be brand new, and hopefully it's going to benefit everybody, and people will like it.
Thank you. I want to make sure I'm correct on my terms here. I hear Go Zone a lot, but I also hear Go Link. Can you make sure that I understand what Go Zone, the difference between Go Zone and Go Link are?
So Dan, you have mentioned Go Zones. So actually, Go Zones are Go Link. I believe Go Zones are what they use in I believe in Trinity Metro. I believe they call their Go Link Go Zones over there. But at DART, it's Go Link. So that's that on-demand service that we run today and will run in January. It's a Go Link zone. So basically, these zones are we'll have 30 total Go Link zones. So these are kind of virtual boundaries throughout our service area. So if you book a trip inside that zone, you are permitted to travel anywhere in that zone, as well as connecting to at least each Go Link zone has a anchor station, so you can connect to one of the rail stations. Some of the Go Link zones that we have 2 rail stations, so you can connect there. So the rule of thumb is if you can travel to that rail station from wherever you book your trip from, you can travel back to there as well.
Okay, I just didn't want to confuse our regional customers on the 2 different words there. So thank you for clarifying that. Carlos, do you want to clarify anything here?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get back to the bus stops as well.
Yes,
So I'll clarify both. So ahorita tenemos más de 10,000 paradas de autobuses y han notado desde el 11 de octubre hemos tenido bolsas o cubiertas arriba de esos postes de las paradas. Indican que viene un cambio en el servicio el 24 de enero. Algunos van a ser cambios que van a eliminar las paradas completamente y algunos van a ser cambios que van a eliminar pero reemplazar con el servicio de GoLink. Y el servicio de GoLink, ese es el nombre del servicio que tenemos aquí en the DART. El Go Service es diferente servicio en otras agencias en nuestra región de North Texas, pero en DART va a ser GoLink, el servicio de GoLink en Irving también. Pero esas paradas vamos a reducir a más de casi 7,000 paradas. Vamos a eliminar muchas de las paradas para tener más servicio directo, para tener más servicio con más frecuencia. Para hacer eso tenemos que eliminar algunas paradas en nuestro sistema. Por eso miran esas cubiertas arriba de los postes desde el 11 de octubre, para tener más tiempo con más información para preparar para esos cambios del 24 de enero. Thank you, Dan.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And if anyone out there has any kind of questions about the different Go Link zones and where those boundaries are, they can go check out dart.org/GoLink, and all of that information, all of those maps are there as well.
I think one question I'd like to bring out here is the paratransit surface. That's so critical to so many residents here. Would you all like to speak to the operations of that? Does that change? Are there any differences on that?
Yeah, so the paratransit, so let's not get the GoLink and paratransit confused. I know a lot of the folks kind of tie those 2 together. So paratransit is something separate. You actually have to call in for that service to come pick you up. So you can't go through the GoPass app and book a paratransit service. However, I do want to emphasize that if you do have for example, wheelchair needs, if you are riding GoLink, for example, just that is available on the, you just have to, on the GoPass app, there's an option there where you can select that, I need a wheelchair service, for example. And then we will send the proper vehicle to you to come pick you up. But in terms of paratransit service, that's completely a different program than the GoLink itself.
Okay. Carlos, do you want to,
Yeah,
would you like to?
I definitely want to stress that, Dan, in Spanish. Una de las preguntas que tenemos con este servicio de GoLink es, muchos piensan que este servicio de GoLink es igual del servicio de paratránsito, pero es separado, es diferente. Ese servicio de paratránsito va a ser igual, nada va a cambiar con ese servicio. El servicio de GoLink es diferente, es de DART, tienen que usar el GoPass app y el GoPass Tap Card o llamar por teléfono. Es como un servicio a pedido, pero el servicio de paratransit, de paratránsito y de mobility va a ser igual, nada va a cambiar con eso, es diferente, es separado y no es parte del servicio de GoLink. So, pueden usar si han necesidad de ruedas o necesitan ayuda, con el servicio de GoLink va a tener esos vehículos van a tener lugar para sillas de ruedas o necesitar ayuda para subirse al vehículo, pero es diferente servicio. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. And I thank you, Dart, for providing that very special and very needed service to our residents in our community. It is appreciated. The one of the questions I was going to have here, Ralph, and I was hoping you could help me out here. I think Irving already has some of the GoLink today. Do we not? And is there any changes to what we already have?
Yeah, so currently Irving has one GoLink zone, which is the South Irving zone that we launched back in October of 2020, so over a year ago. That zone will be expanded to cover the Bear Creek community. So that area is between 161 and Beltline Road. We're also adding 3 new GoLink zones. One is Cypress Waters, the second one is Central Irving, and the third one is East Irving. And we're actually excited about the East Irving zone because that's an area where we currently don't serve today. We don't have any routes in East Irving at all. So come January, January next month, people in that area who work or live in that area will have an opportunity as a different way of travel. So they can actually use the new GoLink zone that we're launching. And speaking of GoLink zone, we actually starting today, you can actually give all these new GoLink zones a try. We did a soft launch just a month ahead of time to give riders an opportunity to get used to the service before the actual implementation in January. So actually all 30 GoLink zones that we have today, they're operational. So if you want to give it a shot and see what the GoLink experience is like, you can certainly do that starting today, and then obviously as we continue towards next month as well.
Well, that's wonderful. Carlos, I'd like you to speak on that too, please.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very good news here.
That's great news.
So el servicio de GoLink va a comenzar hoy, comienza hoy porque vamos a tener antes del 24 de enero el servicio de GoLink. Vamos a comenzar para prepararnos mejor para ese servicio de GoLink. So pueden usar ese servicio de GoLink ahorita. Y ahorita en Irving tenemos el servicio de GoLink en el sur y vamos a expandir ese servicio para hacer más al oeste, más para la comunidad de Bear Creek y también la carretera de 161. Pero también tenemos 3 más servicios, zonas de GoLink en Irving. Tenemos en el norte en Cypress Waters, donde está parte de Irving ahí en el norte. Tenemos en la zona del central, cerca del colegio de North Lake College, en esa área ahí en el centro. Y también tenemos en el este, que es el nuevo servicio en el este, cerca del estadio, donde estaba el estadio, en lugar de donde está el Loop 12 y en esa área de ahí, de las carreteras donde están ahí. Pero ese servicio comienza hoy y lo pueden usar antes del 24 de enero, cuando cambian los servicios de las rutas de buses. Pero tenemos en total 4 zonas en Irving que comienzan hoy de GoLink service. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Well, sounds like the GoLink here is going to do a great job on providing flexibility to various users of the system. So that's that's very encouraging, especially with everybody's needs to get from point A to point B, whether it's shopping, whether it's work, or just, you know, enjoying other parts of our community. So, Isaac, do we have anybody else who's been typing in any questions that we'd like to answer?
We did get a question from Jennifer. She's asking what specifically is considered East Irving. From
so
a DART perspective.
right.
Go ahead, Ralph.
So East Irving is where kind of Loop 12 and south of 183, and let's see, let me get my bearings straight, and north of Rock Island. So that area. So south of 183, Loop 12, north of Rock Island. So that's what we consider East Irving.
Yeah. And I know that there's a lot of changes happening and people have a lot of very route specific questions. So I just wanted to remind everybody who's watching us on Facebook, they can get all of those questions answered at dartzoom.org. That's going to have all of the information on what specific changes are happening to your respective routes. And if you just want to learn more about the new service changes that are happening, you can definitely just visit dartzoom.org and get all of that information and get all of your questions and concerns addressed.
I couldn't agree more. Certainly go to the website, and I'm sure there's plethora of information, lots of information for everybody. So I would encourage everybody to do so. And if there is any questions, certainly reach out and contact DART. Is there any closing comments that either Ralph, Carlos, or anybody would like to talk about here before, since we're running out of questions?
Carlos, do you have anything?
No, I just want to iterate in Spanish. Por favor de visitar el dartzoom.org si tienen más preguntas sobre sus rutas. Tienen dos opciones. Tienen un mapa interactivo para escoger y también tienen Find My Route. Busquen mi ruta. Pueden escoger su ruta que tienen ahorita y luego van a indicar qué va a ser el número de esa ruta en el futuro, el 24 de enero del próximo año. So, tienen dos opciones para investigar qué va a ser su nueva ruta en su vecindario. It's a bit from my side.
Yeah, so I just want to add one last thing. So for those of you riders that's riding the bus, just be on the lookout for kind of the schedules, the information. We'll have this stuff ready soon. I know they're currently printing, so give us some time to put them actually in the sleeve in the bus. So just be on the lookout for that. We'll also have DART staff starting next week available at different rail stations. I know I'll be in the Irving area starting Monday to kind of just guide people, help people out and say, hey, if you have any questions, that's what we're there for. So we'll have DART staff at the station really starting next week and then moving into January as the service changes approaches. So we're looking forward to meeting everybody there, taking a lot of questions. I know it's a massive change to take in, and it's going to be a learning experience for everybody. I know I'm still learning my new routes, the new numbers that we're throwing out there. So that's why we're going to have DART staff out there at the station to answer any questions.
Great. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching us this morning, and thank you everybody who submitted those questions. If you still have questions after this live event is over, definitely visit dart.org/golink for any GoLink information that you need, and dartzoom.org for new bus network information. Those websites again were dart.org/golink and dartzoom.org.
Thank you again, DART, for having the Facebook today. I appreciate your willingness to come on and answer questions from the residents of Irving or any other community that is listening in the service area. And we certainly appreciate the service that you provide for us. So may everybody have a safe day and a glorious week.
Thank you, Dan.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye-bye.